Welcome everyone to Year 5 in this Houma Teambuilder Dynasty on College Football 25. We're coming off our best off-season to date and our best recruiting class of the Dynasty so far. And we open 2028 and Week 1 on the road in Memphis against our only established rival, the Memphis Tigers. Then we go back home to host the number 6 Oregon Ducks, who lost their Week 0 game against Utah State by only 2 points. We then go back on the road to face Navy, have our first bye week, and then start conference play in Georgia against a couple of Georgia teams. We play our final non-conference game against South Carolina, who are currently ranked in the top 20. And then we finish the year with the usual suspects, the last 6 teams the same as usual. We come in with the highest overall for any roster in these first 5 years, and expectations are high. But despite that, and despite finishing last year ranked number 19 in the country, we do not have any votes as of right now in the media or coaches polls to be in the top 25 to open the year. We'll just have to win a couple of games starting out to show what we can really do. But this roster, although similar to last year, does have a lot of new talent, including a new starting running back in Kiki Newcomb, who was our backup last year behind Karan Boyd, and he barely got playing time. So he will have a pretty, big role on this offense as the number 1 tailback. He's backed up by Tyreek Mulligan and Joshua Ringer. And then at receiver, we have pretty much a brand new slate of receivers in this core. We have a couple of guys that have been on this roster since the beginning with Trayon Bell and LJ Young Jr., but they were mostly like backup options behind guys like Scooter Page and Javon Moore and Nelson. But they are going to be our top 2 receivers. And then we have a couple of freshmen and sophomores coming in with Cal Harper, the true freshman, and Roland Hasty, the true sophomore. And then you got Enrique Cherador, Brian Lair to round out the top 6 on this depth chart. So a lot of new talent in these skill positions. Reggie Reese coming in is going to overtake LaShawn Gray for the starting job at tight end. And then offensively, on the offensive line, I should say, we've got a new left tackle in Jermaine Houston, who is kind of a backup / occasional starter for us last year. Grant Huff returns at left guard. Frank Badnos will get his first major playing time as the starting center over the 4-star portal acquisition Brooks Simonson. He'll play alongside Paul Phoenix and Damian Green. That rounds out the offense. On defense, we've got Dorian Combs stepping into a starting role over James Couch-Smith at left end. We've got John Decker IV at right end. He will also get that rush left end spot, as somebody pointed to in the comments last episode. Then we have a couple of guys that were a part of our first ever recruiting class, Tevin Hippenhammer and Fanau Soto, now redshirt juniors. They have 2 years of eligibility left, and they will be our starting defensive tackles to open Year 5. They've also got Jamon Gates returning for his senior season, Shakir Pounds, the true senior, with Dominic Maloney, the redshirt sophomore. Outside linebacker King Joseph Edwards into a starting role this time around. And then a couple of new faces here at corner, but pretty much only at the top with Timmy Yoki, who we acquired in the transfer portal as well. He's a senior, but he's going to be probably your best corner besides Malik Moon in the Dynasty to this point. We've got Randall Glenn, DeMar Holland, and a couple of redshirt sophomores back from the first couple years. And then Jonathan Gadsden, another big pickup in the portal. He's going to be our redshirt senior starting free safety alongside the true senior J.R. Lehan. And as I mentioned, we will have Decker at the rush right end spot. And otherwise, it is going to be the same lineup that we chose to close the off-season portion. But we have to face Memphis to enter a 1.5-star program, 82 overall and across the board. Chambers returns as their offensive captain. They still have Stan Ritchie in the backfield, so their quarterback running back duo is the same that we saw a year ago. At receiver, they got Craig Kuhn, Joshua Adongo with 94 speed, Nobody else has quite that playmaking ability, so he is going to be probably their go-to player on offense, at least through the year. Tight end is pretty thin for them, both in overall and in depth. And then their offensive line seems to have taken a big step up compared to last year. It's pretty solid all the way around. Defensively, they have a couple of solid edge rushers, including Michael Sullivan, who had a couple of sacks against us in last year's matchup. Their defensive tackles might have some trouble stopping the run, though, so we have more success on the ground compared to last year. And the second level, they got a couple guys like Rashad Thomas, but nobody that's a true standout here. So we could, run the ball pretty well if we get past their defensive line and hopefully break a couple of tackles. And their secondary is also not very good. In fact, they lack a lot of speed. And we brought in a couple of big playmakers in this freshman class. So expect guys like Kel Harper and LJ Young to get open in this game against corners that aren't really athletic at all. If you guys are enjoying this series so far, please do leave a like, subscribe to my channel, leave your feedback down below as always as we get underway in Year 5, Week 1 of 2028 against the Memphis Tigers, who beat us last year, only allowing 6 points. Will we look a lot better in this game? Let's find out. We're coming off our best year yet, looking to start the year strong. The stands are packed here in Memphis as Year 5 officially kicks off here in Tennessee. And they will start with the football from the 19-yard line. Brandon Chambers will lead the offense as a senior. Now our first look at this Houma defense with a couple of big improvements across all 3 levels. From inside their 20, they start with the handoff to Stan Ritchie, who picks up 2, tackle made by Jonathan Gatson, who we acquired, of course, in the portal. He wears number 29 for us this season. And now Chambers, pass completes. That's going to be shy of the sticks. 3rd and short for the Tigers. Our defense closed the year on a pretty bad note, allowing over 40 points against the Clemson Tigers in that Birmingham Bowl game. Looking to start the year with a really strong performance. From the 30, here's Chambers, clean pocket and caught across the 45. Now, I have not changed our offensive or defensive playbooks yet. I want to see how things go in these first couple of weeks before I make any adjustments. But once I did make those changes last year, both sides looked very well-oiled, very improved compared to the first couple years, or the first couple weeks, rather, of Year 4. But I want to see how the first 2 to 3 games go before I make some major changes to either side of the ball. Here's 3rd down, and Chambers is taken down by Darren Kennedy, our 3rd-string defensive tackle. That forced a Memphis punt on 4th down, and now it's time to get our first look at the offense. Starting at the 16-yard line, wearing our chrome helmets, of course, here in the blazing sun of Tennessee. And here's Kiki Chambers. His first carry as the starter goes for 7 yards. Rada will now fake the handoff and dump it off, and we lose 6 yards on that quick throw. Just pretty much called the wrong play on the wrong hash mark, and now it's 3rd and long. Rada under pressure, ball comes out. It's recovered by the offensive line, but that's going to lead to a 3-and-out punt. Great starting field position for the Tigers, just shy of their own 45-yard line, and Chambers' pass is picked off immediately. That is DeMarvin Holland, returned inside the 30-yard line. What a play for our defense to open this second drive. We have a zone defense, and Holland is a 99 coverage player when we call zone. So here we go. The offense gets it back after a opening drive scare, and we take over inside the 30-yard line. starting with a screen to Newcomb, but it is not blocked very well, and we get nothing out of it. So we saw Karan Boyd win Best Running Back in the country last year. What does year 5 hold in store for Keke Newcomb as Breda is sacked for the second time already? Tigers trying to hold us to a field goal. They bring a 4-man rush. Breda's pass caught and gone. Touchdown, Keke Newcomb. This might be exactly how Karan Boyd won Best Running Back last year, because his running stats weren't that great, but through the air he had over 400 yards receiving. That is a great start for Newcomb here through the air. Just had him swing out on a route, and Breda finds him right up the numbers for an easy score. That was the offense that we had to close the second half of last season, as Chambers this time is on target and finds his own receiver for a first down. So a turnover by our defense leads to an offensive touchdown, and now it's 7-0 Houma. Chambers with time to throw, and he's picked for a second time. This time it's Shakir Pounds punting off the route over the middle, and now 2 first-quarter turnovers forced by this Bobcat defense. What a start. A punt on the opening drive, and now a couple of turnovers back-to-back. Just what you want to see from this defensive unit. And now we take over once again inside Memphis territory. We start with an empty look. Breda underneath and caught for a first down. Trayon Bell in motion, will not get the ball, and Breda is sacked again. The third time already. Just an unlucky play call on their coverage, honestly, because they had an unblocked defender come off the edge. Leo Grimes picks up his second sack of the day, and it's not the right play to call right there with that defensive look. Goes for a loss of 7. And we're going to fake a handoff here, and Breda once again under pressure. A lot of that early on. That time it was Michael Sullivan, who has a half sack already. Third down from the 30-yard line. Breda steps up, but defense ready for it. And we are held to a field goal on this interception. This will be a 44-yard attempt, and it's through the uprights. George Lincoln starts the year 1 for 1. Memphis takes over. We bring a rush, and Chambers got rid of it somehow with pressure coming. Was caught by Jaqueline Pinckney. Now they go play action, and Chambers is in trouble. That is the second sack by the Bobcats, and it brings up 3rd and long for the Tigers. Backed up to their 21. We bring 5. Chambers steps up and is taken out again. It's Shakir Pounds. Great starting field position for the offense at their own 45-yard line. That's 3 straight drives with some pretty good starting field position, and now that's the first catch in the career of Cal Harper, who is wearing number 18 on the offense. So keep that in mind the rest of the way. He's got that kind of jersey hiked up to his chest like Trayon Bell does. 1st and 10. Breda in trouble. Another sack. The offensive line has not looked very good so far on play action, and now a screen is called for Newcomb, and we actually get a good chunk back, gain of 10 to bring up 3rd and 7, probably just inside field goal range for George Lincoln. Breda facing a 4-man rush, checks it down to Young, and he is tackled well short of the sticks, and we're held to our 2nd straight field goal attempt for Lincoln. This one from about 50 yards away, and he got it. Despite their offensive struggles, their defense has done a pretty good job so far, holding us to only 13 points. Now it's 2nd down and 3 for the Tigers offense after that completion from Chambers. Ritchie, the tailback. They bring a 5-man rush again, and the quick pass is hauled in for a first. Now a handoff to Ritchie up the middle. The hole closes quickly, and that will end this first quarter. Or not. One more play. Ritchie takes the edge and is tackled by Dorian Combs. But it's 13-0 Houma through 1, and now on 3rd down, Draymond Gates gets home for our 4th sack. Both teams allowing plenty of pressure in this first half. Offense takes over, trips top of the screen. Breda gets rid of it and dumps it to Newcomb, who is tackled after a 3-yard gain. Now Newcomb gets the handoff, but there's nothing there on the edge. It's not blocked well by Reggie Reese, and that brings up 3rd down and 8 yards to go. We need the 35 to convert, and we are going to get that and a whole lot more. Trayon Bell into plus territory. Little pump fake and now a screen setting up. Cal Harper spins off a couple of tackles and gains 7. Good play by the freshman. We will stay empty on 2nd down and 3. Got 4 receivers to the right. Breda checks it down and it's complete for a first down. Believe that is Roland Hasty. Another quick throw, and the slant is broken. The tackle's broken, rather, by L.J. Young Jr. to bring up 2nd and only a couple inches to go. On the fringe of the red zone now. We're going to keep it in the air. Over the middle, wide open, it's Bell. Goal to go, Bobcats handing off on the counter, and it's Newcomb wrapped up quickly for only 1 yard. I still want to see us run the ball better and get 5 yards per average, but so far that's not been the case, as Newcomb has to put in a ton of work to even get 3 yards on that carry. And now it's 3rd down from the 6-yard line. And we're going to throw it. Or not. Breda scrambles and loses a bunch. The 5th sack for the Tigers. I don't know what the idea was there on that play call, but that play did not go well. We are held to a field goal again, our 3rd in a row. But it's good. Now trailing by 16 points, but still technically a 2-score game, I guess you could say, with 2 2-point conversions after a couple of touchdowns. We have scored 4 times, been held to field goals 3 out of those 4 drives. But our defense has looked stellar in this first half. Under 5 to go until the break. They'll hand it off to Stan Ritchie, who picks up a first down and more. Chambers facing pressure, gets it off quickly, and it's caught. And now the Tigers have crossed midfield. In the pistol, they'll give it to Ritchie, who breaks a tackle, but is wrapped up in the backfield. They'll fake the jet sweep, dump it off, and they're going to go backwards. Loss of 4 on the play, similar to what we called on our opening drive of the ball game. Now 3rd and 12. Chambers gets outside the pocket and fires well short of the marker. This could very well be our final drive of the half. Let's do something with it and put a touchdown on the board. Good power carry right there for Kiki Newcomb, just breaking a couple more tackles, churning his legs, and gaining 9 yards. But now he's swallowed up in the backfield. That was not blocked well whatsoever. Loss of 2 brings up 3rd down. Breda steps up and fires a strike into Trayon Bell to keep the drive going. Out of the 2-minute warning, we keep it in the air, and a diving catch is made by Reggie Reese, the new starting tight end. I do think that LaShawn Gray has probably reached his ceiling, but Reggie Reese might not have yet, as Newcomb is shoved ahead for a first down. Already his 5th catch of the game. Plenty of touches both on the ground and through the air for him. Just over a minute left to go in the half. Breda's pass. He's caught in traffic on the sideline. That's LJ Young Jr. Now he's double top of the screen. Breda will fire instead to Bell for a first again. He's been heavily involved. He's the new number 1 receiver in this offense. Good pockets. Quick throw underneath, and not a whole lot there. Good coverage by Memphis. Now 20 seconds left to go. We're just milking some clock. Why not go for a touchdown here? Breda evades pressure, takes off. He's got room to run, and will break a tackle with a touchdown run. What a play by Steven Breda, the Heisman pose. And we are off to a very strong start here in year 5. Still plenty of football left, but on the road up 22-0. You can't ask for a much better start. Here's a replay of this one. He just evades the pressure finally, sees the green grass ahead, breaks a tackle easily, and scores. And that will take us to the halftime break here in week 1 of year 5. A strong way to close the first half. The Bobcats lead the Memphis Tigers 23-0. The offense has scored 5 times already, and the defense has looked elite so far in these first 2 quarters of play. And the offense will open the third quarter in possession from the 15-yard line. Crossing route, and Cal Harper will gain 15 yards on the opening play of the drive. We stay empty on 1st and 10. Breda pumps, fires, and this time it's Bell, who has already had at least 5 receptions in the first half and change. Quick throw. This is out to Young for the first down conversion. Picking up where things left off last year, just throwing the ball a lot, not quite as many handoffs as we do get one here for Newcomb, and he finds some space and picks up 7 yards. He's looked pretty good so far. He finds the cracks that open up on this offensive line. He breaks tackles, and he hits the gaps pretty hard and spins off and away from defenders as well, as you can see right there. 1st and 10 now for the Bobcats from the 42 in Memphis territory. This pass is floated up and caught. What a dot right there. Drops right in the basket for Trayon Bell. Breda closed the year pretty poorly, throwing 5 picks in his last 2 games to close year 4, but he has opened it up very well here in year 5. No mistakes throwing the ball. Has been sacked a couple of times, but so far has been decisive and has been on target on pretty much every throw he has made. Breda fakes the handoff. Pressure's picked up, and now it comes off the edge, and he has to get rid of it. We're seeing so far that play-action passing has been difficult because we have allowed pretty quick pressure off of those play calls. And now more pressure, gets home again. And that's Michael Sullivan this time. The field goal from Lincoln is through the uprights. He has a perfect 4 for 4 on field goal attempts. That drive took off half the quarter, but Memphis will finally get a chance to touch the ball as Chambers floats it up and out of bounds. 0 points allowed by this defense. They have been good against the ground game and the pass attack as Richie spins away from a defender and will find 6 yards on the screen. Now they come out empty on 3rd down and 4. Chambers with a clean pocket, plenty of time to throw. He's going to heave it down the field. One-on-one coverage and incomplete. DeMarvin Holland in coverage. Receiver had it but couldn't bring it in. We force a 3 and out on the opening drive for the Tigers. Next drive for the Bobcats starts with a run to Newcomb. Good hesitation, good patience. And he gains 6 yards that time around. I feel like so far the offensive line has kind of let him down on the runs where we have not converted or had, more than 5 yards. And now it's 3rd down and 1. Breda has pressure, but gets it away fast and finds Newcomb in the air for the 1st down. We're seeing pretty much the same game plan as a year ago. Newcomb hits the gap, but does not get a good block, and it's taken down for only a 2-yard pickup. Now we're going to fake the handoff. Play action finally covered well, and wide open is Hasty, but Breda was a bit off the mark. One of his only misses so far in this game. Now it's 3rd down. 4-man rush. Pressure breaks through. Breda sees it and takes off on a 14-yard scramble for a 1st down. I want to see him use his legs more often with this pressure from the Tigers defense. No gain that time for Kiki Newcomb. Clean pocket this time. Breda fires and caught wide open. It is the true freshman, Cal Harper. He has elite development, almost no skill caps, and he's already had a nice impact here in week 1 in his first career collegiate game. Breda's pass this time incomplete, intended for L.J. Young Jr. That brings up 2nd and goal, and we're showing pass. But Breda, under pressure, can't get it off cleanly. Needing 8 yards for a score, we fake the handoff, and Breda is sacked again. And that was allowed by our center and left guard. So Grant Huff and Frank Bad News allow the pressure this time. That was blocked for less than 1 full second. Now another field goal attempt for Lincoln, and he is still perfect on the day. We have had the ball for 27 minutes. They've had it for less than 9. And we have scored on every drive since our opening one, but have only 29 points to show for. Got to finish these offensive drives. But now it's our defense on the field, obviously. 1st and 10 for Memphis. And Chambers is going to show off the arm talent, but another deep ball broken up. That one was for Stan Ritchie, their tailback. I believe that was Lehan with that pass breakup. Brings up 2nd and 10. Ball's tipped up and should have been picked off, but it's dropped instead by a defender. That brings up 3rd down and 10. Is this 4-down territory for the Tigers? They might need it as it's broken up down the field. Ben Laney shaken up on the play, and it will be a 4th down attempt for Memphis. Chambers across the middle and completes for a 1st down. From midfield, Chambers, quick throw and caught. Another 1st down conversion. We've had some good pressure, but so far he has stood tall in the pocket and has delivered a couple of nice strikes. Tigers looking for their first points here. Chambers stumps it off for Ritchie for a loss of 6. 5 wide, and a screen setting up, and they'll get 13 yards back on the completion. 3rd down, in field goal range, and Chambers will throw. Pressure coming in, and there's gonna be a big backup. Loss of 13 yards, back to the 44 they go. That was Garrison Colclough and Darren Kennedy, 2 of our backup defensive linemen. And now 4th and 16. Chambers. That ball never had a chance. for a first down. And the offense comes back out, and it looks like the backups are officially in for the Bobcats. We hand it off to, I believe that is Mislinski or not Mislinski, that is somebody else for a gain of 2. Second down and 8, and not a whole lot there either. Gallimore, of course, the quarterback, and it's 3rd and 6. He's got time and a man wide open for a first down. That is Brian Lair, the true freshman, coming in. Now we're just going to milk some clock the rest of the way, you would have to imagine. This actually is Mislinski on the ground. I was mistaken earlier. I thought it was Joshua Ringer, but Ringer is number 30, not 34. Now he gets the handoff, but that gap closed very quickly. Another 3rd down for the backup offense. Gallimore is going to throw it, and it's caught for a first down. Empty look. Gallimore pumps, fires up the numbers for a touchdown. Enrique Cherador, his first in his collegiate career. Even the backups can score here in this one. What a week 1 performance for the Bobcats, man. A perfect, nearly perfect game. And Houma dominates the Memphis Tigers on the road here in week 1 to open year 5. What a start for this entire team. You cannot ask for a much better game. The offense came to play. The defense was elite. The first team did not allow any points. Only the backups did. 36-7 your final score. What a way to start this young season. We had nearly 400 yards of offense and nearly led these guys in every single category that is on the team stats page. How about that? Player stats, Chambers goes 24 for 32, but through a couple of costly first quarter INTs. Richie held to only 3.3 per carry, but because they were down for the entire game, they had to pass a lot and just kind of went away from the ground. Receiving, Brady Cluse had 7 grabs for 82. Their tight end, Trey Harris, had 54 yards on 7 catches. Kuhn had their only score against our backups, but they had plenty of pressure from guys like Leo Grimes, Siaki, Kelakippi, and Michael Sullivan. But how about the Bobcats defense? Pressure from Darren Kennedy, King Joseph Edwards, Shakir Pounds, Draymond Gates, and Garrison Colclough. A perfect day kicking-wise for George Lincoln, hitting all 8 of his kicks. 5 field goals, 3 PATs. 2 first quarter picks, 1 from Shakir Pounds, 1 from DeMarvin Holland. But where my concerns lie are with this offensive line. They allowed a lot of pressure. They allowed some pretty poor run blocking in this game. 3 sacks allowed by Houston, 2 by Bad News, 1 by Paul Phoenix. That is way too much. We got to do a better job into our next game because we're going to play against Oregon and then South Carolina in a couple of weeks' time. So we got to play better against teams that are going to have a better overall than we do. But how about Trayon Bell, 8 catches for 89 yards. Kiki Newcomb through the air, 6 for 68 plus a touchdown. Enrique Cherador, only 1 catch thrown by Gallimore, but it was for a 23-yard score. And then how about the ground game? 40 yards on 13 carries for Newcomb, only 3.0 average. I'm going to blame the offensive line for that one. Breda, 1 rushing touchdown, got sacked a lot. We were held to a lot of field goal attempts in this game, which is why there just aren't that many touchdowns to talk about. But Breda does go 27 for 32, with just below 300 passing yards. He wins player of the game, gets that 1 touchdown. And then Gallimore, perfect in the 4th quarter. Great job by the offense. Very impressed. You cannot ask for a better week 1 performance. I forgot to mention that I did use all of our coaching skill points to wrap up the motivator skill tree because we had some of this not filled out. But what this does is not only gives us bonus XP for guys that are going to get drafted in the next couple of years in the NFL, but it'll also help us stay hot through timeouts, quarter changes, across games. We'll get more training boosts in the off season for all of these positions. Plus, we will have players start the fourth quarter hot in close games. So all of this will just make us a more consistent and a better team because if we play well, that will keep up with these new abilities in the motivator skill tree. So just wanted to show off that to you guys. And now we'll talk about a couple of recruits. We have no hours to spend entering week 2, but we have a lot of players that we are looking at, especially in the 4-star range. The top 7 guys on our recruiting board are all gems, starting with Nathan Cooks, who we're currently first place for over teams like Tennessee, Troy, and Kentucky. And for him, he's an 86 finesse move speed rusher already, 85 acceleration, good strength, great speed for a defensive end. He looks really promising. You've also got Sean Pryor, a run-stopping middle linebacker for the second level who's got 88 speed, also a gem, 88 tackling. Just seems really good right out of the gates. You've got David Hagg, a right tackle pass protector with really good pass block, finesse, and power. 65 speed, 82 strength with a couple of nice abilities. You've got Casey Hadel, a route running wide receiver, but he also has 96 speed and 94 agility, so could be a big playmaker for us down the line. We're currently first place for him over Mississippi State and Ole Miss, and he's from Starkville, so they have a higher platinum or pipeline tier than we do as of right now, but until they spend more points like we are, they will not have a good chance to get him. You've also got a couple of corners here, starting with Marquise Levitt with 92 speed, 79 man coverage, and 70 zone coverage. So could be kind of, man and zone player, can play both. He's more of a slot tendency player, but 94 chain of direction is pretty special, especially as a true freshman. You've also got Morris Rousseau with 94 speed, really agile player, good man coverage, not so much zone coverage. He's more of a man-to-man guy in total, but has a couple of abilities, both mental and physical. And then you've also got a wide receiver as well, Alex Spangler in Mississippi with 96 speed and 94 jumping, plus 87 spec catch and 83 free release. That's a really good kind of 4-horse combo for a physical guy like him. Just a lot to like about Spangler. We are also first place on his board. We're actually first place for all of these gem players as of right now. You also got a couple more players like Rashad Volk and Alex McSwain. I do think that we're going to get more 4-star players in this class than our previous one, but I don't think it's time for us to go after 5-star guys just yet. I don't think we're at that level of a program, but I think give it a year or two and we're probably going to be there. But next time, we have to face the number 19 Oregon Ducks in our first home game of Year 5. Again, they lost their first game against Utah State back in Week 0 by only 2 points, but they're coming off a nice win in bounce-back fashion. We are a pretty similar overall to them, but they are a 5-star school. They have a higher overall than us across the board by only a couple of ticks. They're still the better team, but we're coming off a very good Week 1 game, and now our first real test of the year at home in week number 2. I'll see y'all there. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, leave your feedback down below, and subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next one. Take care and have a great day.